Max Verstappen claimed a hard-fought home victory against Mercedes after strategy chaos in the Dutch Grand Prix as a furious Lewis Hamilton dropped from race favourite to an immensely unlucky fourth. On an absorbing afternoon at Zandvoort, Hamilton twice looked like he had a big chance of clinching his first win of the season before a VSC and after a full safety car, but in the end he slammed his Mercedes strategy. Critically, Mercedes chose to pit George Russell for soft tyres and not Hamilton, leaving the then race leader vulnerable on medians to charging Verstappen, who passed his rival immediately upon the restart. Russell and Charles Leclerc would then also overtake a hugely frustrated Hamilton, who said, "This is the biggest fuck up on the team radar. I can't believe you guys fucked me, man," he said. In the winning in front of passing home crowd dressed in orange, Verstappen has extended his title lead to 103 points with just 7 races left. Sergio Perez finished 5th in the other Red Bull as Carlos Sainz lost the position and dropped his way down to 8th after a 5-second penalty for an unsafe release on another day of strategy blunders at Ferrari. Sainz had earlier been subject to a second pit stop to drop him out of contention at the front before Perez ran over Ferrari's wheel guns as a misfiring Italian team seemed were not ready for their driver. Fernando Alonso also recovered from a difficult qualifying to be best of the rest for Alpine, who defeated McLaren on a track where they were embarrassed off it amid the Oscar Piastri transfer saga. But moving on, Verstappen took a momentous and likely pivotal step, if it wasn't already, towards the second driver's crown on Sunday by winning his 4th race in a row. But home favourite was pushed extremely hard by Mercedes in a race of mixed strategies. Hamilton, meanwhile, was cost by various race incidents and arguably his own team. As the race progressed, it looked like Verstappen would have to overtake both Hamilton and Russell on a tight circuit, but as a bizarre Yuki Tsunoda stoppage, as AlphaTauri had tyre issues and then tried to reconnect his seatbelt, then triggered a VSC and a chance for the Dutchman to pit and not lose huge amounts of time. Hamilton stopped 2 and Verstappen was in control again before a VE DNF led to a full safety car with 15 laps remaining. Verstappen stopped for soft tyres, dropping him to 3rd behind the Team Mercs and leaving him again with difficult prospects of passing 2 cars, but soon after Russell demanded soft tyres too and his team list and now pitting in 3rd and leaving Hamilton a sitting duck on his 8-lap old medium tyres. Hamilton was overtaken by Verstappen on a start-finish straight immediately when the race restarted and then dropped 2 more places. Hamilton blasted team radio and after the race, team boss Toto Wolff apologised but stressed the team were always going to risk Hamilton, having calmed down slightly, praised Mercedes now appearing Red Bull's main challengers. First of all, Lewis is ahead, so we're always having a problem with the call. You can do 2 things. You can either pit Lewis, lose track position, and Verstappen and leave George out screwed. You can pit both screwed, so it was worth taking a risk, he said. Ferrari finished with a podium in Zandvoort, although it was another disappointing day on the track and off due to some embarrassing errors. Ferrari minus the spirited Leclerc attack at the start never had the pace to contend for victory despite being within the tenths of Verstappen in qualifying and then cost Sainz in the pit lane. On that 12, Ferrari didn't seem to be ready for Sainz after the Spaniard pitting from 3rd and he ran over 10 seconds before Perez then ran over his wheel gun. Later it got even worse for Sainz as he was also released unsafely in front of Alonso. With his battle in for 5th with Perez after the restart, he dropped 3 positions thanks to a 5-second time penalty which the Spaniard criticised. But Ferrari now heading into a huge race, their home race at Monza of course, next weekend, Sunday the 11th of September, under increasing scrutiny with their 2022 season falling apart after, an encouraging start. But anyway, before I go, let me run you through the final results from today's race. Verstappen coming in first, boy oh boy, he suffered the challenge. For me, I always thought he was the favourite throughout the race, but he did what he needed to do, and another great race from him under huge pressure to get the win, so that's a massive drive from him. Russell in second, obviously slightly fortuitous with a Mercedes strategy. It's literally the worst possible option I think he would have done. I think they had Ferrari's strategy team in there for a second, but he did, from what he was at, Russell second place, he'll definitely take that, and Leclerc in 3rd as well. Ferrari just didn't have the pace today. Potentially Mercedes one stop was better as well. Leclerc will be pleased with 3rd, probably Max Michelin. Hamilton, I'm absolutely gutted for him because he was just at his very best. So I think that was peak Lewis Hamilton that we saw say. And wouldn't it have been great if he got the win? I don't think he would have got the win, but he was definitely deserving a second there because that was an outstanding drive with Perez in 5th. And once again, Perez, just not showing the pace anywhere near Verstappen. Pretty disappointing race for him. He was miles off. Really top 4 here, you'd have to say. And obviously with Sainz getting unlucky with that stop, we don't know where that would have been. So misfortunate for Sainz. But Perez just quite poor today, you'd have to say, especially compared to where his teammate was. Alonso in 6th, that's a really good recovery from him. He'll be delighted with that. Norris in 7th place, lose out to Alonso. I think he will be slightly frustrated, but Ricciardo in 17th, he had an absolute honker, really, didn't he? So Norris still hugely impressive. Ocon in 9th, more good points for Alpine, and we're in weekend where McLaren kind of had a pace advantage here. That's a big result for them. You got Stroll in 10th, good drive from him to get some points for Aston Martin, rare points, but he'll take that, solid drive. Gasly in 11th, and Albon in 12th. Both not driving the best car, I think it's fair to say. Maybe we wanted a few points, but it's coming outside the points in the race where most people finish. It's not a bad effort. Schumacher in 13th, obviously had that horrible start which kind of cost him, which must be hugely frustrating for him. He did have the march over Magnussen. We had that bizarre incident at the start. Frustrating for Schumacher. Vettel in 14th, just disappointing. Couldn't never really cover from that mistake in qualifying yesterday, and that's kind of what cost him this weekend. Zhou in 16th, Bottas DNF, but he wasn't doing much before that. And it's a shame because it just looked like Alfa Romeo's pace was just totally evaporated. Latifi was being Latifi, and Tsunoda, I'm not going to lie, that DNF was very sus, but I'm sure there was nothing going on. But anyway, guys, that's it really. Thanks for watching, and like, subscribe, don't drop comments down below. If you want to the link in the description for daily F1 news and subscribe to my channel, I'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.